Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my first monthly reset since having a baby. Today's video is going to be the monthly reset for November and I am so ready for this video. I feel like I've just been completely out of sorts for the last couple of months, understandably, from being on maternity leave and just kind of easing myself back into some work in the last month or so. It really feels like it's been kind of all over the place for me and I haven't had a lot of structure to my weeks or my days for that matter. So I'm very excited today to start setting some more goals for the first time since having a baby and since going through my late pregnancy as well. I really wasn't setting a lot of goals at that time frame because let's be real, when you're at the end of your pregnancy and you're about to go into maternity leave, like there was not really much else I wanted to achieve during that time. I was just kind of like surviving the days, and even the time after having the baby, it's exactly the same way. And even for today's video to an extent, I think some of the goals that I will be setting for myself will kind of be like low impact goals because I am still not ready to dive into a month's worth of just hectic work or hectic goals that I have to try and complete by the month's end. I think that this is all going to be a process of easing back into slowly, gradually building up better habits and getting back into things. Now you might notice that today's scenery or the place that I'm sitting in at the moment looks very different, and that is because we have finally moved house. If you haven't seen my recent vlogs, I talked about that a bit and I did post a moving vlog recently, so you can go and check that out if you like. But realistically, it was just a very simple recap of us moving from our townhouse that we were living in now to a actual home and with full autonomy over what we do. And I'm so excited because it's the first place that we've realistically lived in where we haven't had to ask anyone or anything permission to do things to the place, and it's just so exciting. Like this is kind of like that next phase in our lives, and we've been able to move in with our new baby Lumi. So she's going to be spending most of her childhood, I would assume, here. I can't see us moving honestly for quite a long time at this point. I'm very excited and happy to be here. So this is the new home. I will hopefully do a home tour. If any of you are interested out there, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to do a house tour at some point, like a proper one. Maybe when we've kind of like put things in place as well though, because I would love to actually get styling this place a little bit more. It's been very, very hectic the last couple of months or the last month or so since moving in, and having a newborn made it very difficult to actually get a lot of our stuff unpacked, and 2 dogs as well. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy couple of months, and honestly, if you ask me what I had actually done on maternity leave, I could not tell you. It has been so fast paced and that time has just flown so quickly that I really feel like I haven't had time to do anything but look after my child and yeah, unpack things for the house, or pack things up originally when we were moving out. So in terms of an update, I have a couple of exciting things upcoming, and we have planned a couple of trips with our baby, and we're actually going to be heading to Tasmania in November for a short trip, and then we're also going to be heading to New Zealand in December, so it'll be her first overseas trip, which I'm very excited about. We just got her passport the other day. We actually had to take her newborn photos for her passport and it was just like, it's the most funniest little image. Like she looks so cute in it. But yeah, I never thought I'd be doing my newborn's passport photos. So, and luckily we actually had that photo accepted because we weren't really sure at first. Like there's a lot of rules and regulations around passport photos, and really, really difficult to have some of them with a newborn as well, and getting them to look at the camera, getting them to not tilt their head too much, have eyes open, all the rest of it. So that was very difficult, but I'm happy to say that was approved and we're ready to go. But essentially everything here has been such a slow going process, and I think it will continue to be around the place. I mean, in terms of styling and making the place actually look decent, there's barely been time for that. Between visitors and starting work again and all the rest of it, looking after Lumi, it's been really difficult to really get anything kind of going around the house. I mean, Dan has managed to do a little bit of gardening, and luckily we don't really have to start from scratch with that because we had so many plants at the last place that were able to be transported here, which was really great. But yeah, everything is a process, but I have to remind myself too, sometimes it's the process that's the fun part. And sometimes when you actually get to the point of having everything done and looking great, you're kind of like, what now? This is kind of boring. So I have to remind myself as well that that process is actually a lot of fun at times, and it's something to also look forward to. But in terms of mum life, I have absolutely been loving it. Of course, there's been those hard nights and times with having a newborn, and I can't say that I wasn't expecting that. I definitely was. And I feel like I really tried to prepare myself for what was coming with having a newborn over years, over the course of literal years. So I think that it's not maybe hit me as hard as I thought it would, and I just have no regrets. Like, I just feel like it's such a great chapter of my life to be going into at this point. It feels normal and natural at this point as well. I think we did so much, Dan and I, in our DINK lifestyle, which is double income, no kids, that, you know, we were so content with. So by the time we've had Lumi, it just felt like this natural next step, and we're so excited to be able to hopefully show her the world and do things with her. And yeah, every day it feels like she's learning something new at the moment, which is just wild. Like, even the way she looks in her passport photos that I was talking about before, that was only probably about 6 weeks ago now, or 5 weeks ago. She looks completely different to that passport photo, like completely different. Like, if you had to put them side by side, you'd probably think it was a different child. They just grow so quickly. And honestly, like I said, every day feels like that she's doing something or learning something new that she wasn't doing the day before. So it's a very exciting time, very fun time to, you know, experience this kind of newborn growth. And she's almost not a newborn anymore, because next week she'll pretty much be 3 months, which is crazy because where did that time go? So yeah, she's kind of exiting that stage now, which is crazy. We're actually starting to get quite a bit more sleep at the moment, which is also wonderful, because initially that sleep deprivation, oh my God, that was hitting hard. Totally understand what people mean by just like that is a form of torture, because you can see why. She actually slept for 8 hours the other night, which I don't even know if that's normal. I don't even know if that's right. You know, like I'm borderline like about to ask my GP, is that normal? But yeah, it was crazy. She slept 8 hours straight. And, you know, even previous nights she's been doing about 5 to 6 hours on average, which has been wonderful. Oh my God. I was happy to get, you know, 3 hours sleep at a time, you know, like that was great for me. So the fact that she's kind of getting into this routine at the moment of having a bedtime as well, so good, so good. I feel like I can just be such a better mum to her when I actually have sleep as well. And I'm sure that Dan feels the same way. I've been very lucky to have Dan off as well. So he has been having time off from work, and he will be until the end of the year. So that's great. Like, it's been such a help. I couldn't even imagine at times what it must be like to do things and everything really on your own. And that's just kind of like most people's experience, realistically. I know that we are definitely not the norm when it comes to having both parents off for such a significant amount of time. Though I have been sort of going back into work over the last month or so, I still feel that it's just this giant help, like having us both here. And I am flexible with what I'm doing too, to an extent. So I just feel very fortunate that we have this opportunity. I am just going to run through a couple of my monthly favorites. And if you would like me to do a different video, like a whole separate video doing monthly favorites as more of a series, I can do that. I think that that would be really fun, because there's quite often things that I come across creatively that I think are really great or fun, and that would be great as a recommendation to other people. And if you want me to do a series like that, definitely let me know. I'm just going to quickly run through it in the monthly reset video though, because I think it's kind of relevant. So recently our local shopping center actually opened up a Flying Tiger Copenhagen stores. So these stores, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing overseas a while back. And at first I actually thought that they were kind of just like knick-knack stores in terms of like, you know, just having like a bunch of junk. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of like my first impression of it, until I actually have been through now a couple of times and actually seeing what they offer. And I actually love some of the stuff that they have there. They have a lot of arts and crafts things. They have stuff there that is great for kids. So if you are buying Christmas presents already and you are basically in that mode, highly recommend going in there and looking for kids, because there is so much stuff that would be great for that. They also have a lot of stationery. And as you guys know, I love my stationery, and I'm definitely going to be doing another stationery haul for 2026. And I did buy a couple of things the other day, but the cost of them has been so so cheap. Like the store itself is so affordable. Lots of different fun Christmas things in there too. So if you love Christmas arts and crafts, or you love Christmas tree decorations, Christmas decorations in general, head in there because there's some really cute stuff. I believe there's a store in Sydney as well somewhere that has opened. It might be North Ryde, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, just an awesome little store for knickknacks and stationery and crafts. I actually bought this monthly planner for the next few months and it was $2. $2. Like if I go into Kikki K, which is another store here in Australia that's primarily stationery, and look, once upon a time I loved Kikki K. I do feel a bit differently about it now these days because it has been taken over by another brand, and like I just feel like the vibes and the aesthetic are just totally different and not really my thing anymore. But like the costing of what a monthly planner like this would have been there would have easily been $20 to $30. So the fact that it was $2, I feel like is a total win. I also bought a new rug for the lounge room. That is pretty much the only homewares thing I've really bought since moving in, but I had my eye on it for a while at Adairs because they had a 40% off sale recently, and I'm hoping that's going to come back for Black Friday because I would love to buy some more homewares at the moment, but we'll see how we go. But I got this wool rug from Adairs. Absolutely love it. It is so soft and so nice to walk on, and we just needed another rug after the last one that I had in the previous place was absolutely destroyed by puppy Kaito at the time and Suki, who loved to use it as target practice for vomiting, which was great because I had to clean it like every couple of days. So I'm hoping the same thing doesn't happen with this rug, but yeah, that last rug is well and truly done. And then we also got this Robo vacuum from Alibaba. Actually, it was only $20 and it's actually been pretty good. We just got it as a bit of a lull, to be honest, and to see whether it would actually pick up any dirt. And I was sick to death of cleaning. In this new place, we have tiles, and I just find that it gets so dirty so quickly. And I think it's because they're kind of lighter colored, so a lot of stuff does tend to show up pretty easily on them. But it's just so infuriating when you've got dogs every day. Now having a baby, we're really trying to keep it extra clean. So we decided to get this $20 little Robo vacuum. We've nicknamed it Count Vacula, and it works pretty well. Like it does actually pick up a lot of dust. You know, is it great with like the sensors and everything and like actually doing a really decent job of the floor? Like not really, but hey, it's still picking up dust, and it's still quite a lot of dust that it does pick up. So I would say like my rating of it is about 3 out of 5. I mean, maybe if you've got a small space and you just need kind of like a cheap little Robo vac, highly recommend. But yeah, I mean, like I still think it's pretty good for $20. Like it's been doing the job. So that's one of my other little favorites for October. But in terms of setting my goals for November, let's get into that. So I am going to be using my goal setting template, which is the goal tracker template from CoPlenty. I do have a link in the description box below if you would like to go and purchase one, and it is an affiliate link. So I do earn a small commission if you choose to purchase. There's also a discount code there if you do want to purchase. So definitely feel free to use that. But I've been using these templates now for probably well over a year. And also I've used their budgeting templates, which I talk about a lot in my monthly budget reset videos. So definitely go and check them out. They have some amazing little planning templates there. Let's get into setting the goals for November. So I've got a couple of daily goals for November, and I'm not going to be setting too many. As I said, everything's going to be fairly low impact or things that I already had in mind to kind of be achieving for the month. Nothing too strenuous or too out there because I'm still in the process of, I guess, recovering still from birth, but also like I do have a child to look after now, and that is taking up quite a bit of my time as well. So my actual first and only daily goal is to have 15 minutes of low impact exercise. So I don't really mind whether that's doing a walk, whether that is getting into doing a bit more yoga again. I would really love to do that. Just some low impact exercises to help me build up my strength again, because I feel like after pregnancy, my upper body strength is just like gone. It's gone. I don't even know where it went, but it's not there anymore. And especially with having to carry Lumi, and as she's getting bigger, it's going to be harder and harder for me to do that if I don't have any upper body strength. So I'm definitely going to be trying to focus on that for the next month. So just 15 minutes daily. Now let's move on to the weekly goals. Now, a lot of these weekly goals are really going to be just kind of career-based or work-based goals. They're just going to be some pretty, I would say, bare minimum targets for me to kind of reach for the next month, because let's be real, I'm just still getting into things work-wise, and I don't want to go full ball and then realize that I'm burning myself out already. So I am condensing my week at the moment into 3 days a week of work as opposed to 5 days, and I may continue this indefinitely. We'll see how things go. But at the moment, it's only 3 days a week that I will be mainly doing a lot of my work. And so far that's worked for me. I feel like I have been even a little bit more productive than I would usually be. So I think that that's working and I'm going to continue with that. But in terms of my weekly goals, the first goal is to post 1 to 2 videos weekly for Kaylee June Creative, which is this channel. And I'm going to be focusing on just doing either like maybe alternating weeks, like 1 week I'm doing 2 videos, 1 week I'm doing 1, or if it comes to it, then only doing 1 video a week. It just depends. My time is more limited now, so I'm just going to see how we go with that. I am also aiming to ramp up my short form content though for Kaylee June Creative. And for this, I really want to post 3 to 4 times a week. This is to Instagram and TikTok. This is something that I've been really struggling to get on top of as opposed to everything else career-wise. And I really, really want to get on top of Instagram and TikTok with this associated YouTube channel because I really feel like they're just things that I'm not capitalizing on there. I'm not kind of reaching another audience, and I do think that that's something important that I'll have to focus on. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I actually have 3 different brands that I work with. So this is for content creation. So my first brand is obviously this channel, and as I was saying, the associated short form accounts as well. So this is Kaylee June Creative. This is where I talk about business and social media and creativity and everything kind of associated with being a self-employed business person as well. And then I also have my Kaylee June Photography brand, which is all about photography, retouching tutorials and videos. So I've been running that channel now for well over 10 years. And then I also have a travel and lifestyle channel with my partner, Dan. So that is a channel that we've also been running for many years. That's more of a passion project at the moment for both of us. We love doing travel vlogging and recommending things when we're traveling and all of the things under travel. So that's kind of associated with that, along with my Instagram account and TikTok account, Kaylee Journeys. That is all primarily travel content. So between these 3 brands, I am trying to dedicate a bit of time to each one at the moment. And the next weekly goal that I have is to post fortnightly Wonder Walkers videos. So just once a fortnight at this stage. And I will be doing hopefully the same thing for Kaylee June Photography, just posting 1 video a fortnight. That is mainly what I want to stick to. So 2 times a month. For my travel short form content, I really want to post 2 to 3 times a week at the moment for those particular accounts, Instagram and TikTok, and see how I go with that. I have actually already been scheduling something. So I've been trying to get on top of this early for November and December actually. So I have started already scheduling my Instagram and TikTok posts for Kaylee Journeys. And I have also done this with my photography accounts as well for Instagram. I've actually already scheduled all the imagery that I needed to for Kaylee June Photography for that Instagram account pretty much until January. So I don't have to really worry about that now for a couple of months. So that is all done and dusted. And now to get into the monthly goals. So for the month of November, my main personal goal is to finish packing away things. This is the only personal goal that I have. I just want to finish packing away some of the things that are not packed away yet from the move that we're still kind of like looking at every day when we wake up and we're like, oh my God, that's still not packed away. Like that's kind of just how it is at the moment. So that is something that I really want to focus on. I don't have any other personal goals for November. I'm not going to start doing anything, like I said, too high impact with that. That is the only thing that I have. Everything else is just going to be surviving at this point. And that's basically what I achieved last month and the month before was just survival. And that's okay. My next monthly goal for wellness is to really make time for self-care. Now, this is a bit of a fuzzy goal because I don't really have a set, like what I'm going to do to achieve the self-care, what kind of self-care I'm talking about, but just a general goal of making sure that I'm consistently making that time. Because honestly, at the moment, and as many of you may know with having kids, it's hard to even take a shower early on. Like it's so hard with a newborn just to, I think do that sometimes. And I'm lucky because I've got Dan here, so I can alternate with him with looking after Lumi. But, sometimes it's still hard to just do those basic things that you would have otherwise done without kids. And I think it's just important to every now and then remind myself to make sure that I'm fitting that into my timeframes. So making sure that I do still do a bit of self-care each month. For financial goals, I just really want to save an extra $500 for our New Zealand trip in December. I would really love to do that in November. We'll see how we go. As I've said previously in different financial videos, especially when it's come to my maternity leave and the time that we're having off, and these kinds of months getting back into work, it's probably going to be a little bit more break even with what we're earning. So I guess as much as I would love to save that $500, it is also a goal that I'm not going to force myself to achieve or try, too hard to achieve, because I know that it could be really difficult to get past that breaking even stage for next month, but we'll see. And then in terms of my career goal for the month, that is going to be just getting into the groove for 3 days a week in working. I feel like this is a new thing for me to condense my week into 3 days. I had been testing it out with 4 days earlier this year, and that was working pretty well, but I really do want to condense it further into 3 days at the moment. And even further than that, honestly, if I can be completely honest, I think that's going to be a hard task, especially because some weeks it's just impossible to do that. But I think it'd be worth a go to see what I can really achieve with that. And that is going to be my main thing for my career goal in November, is just going to be trying to condense my work week and getting into that routine of having those 3 days a week. And honestly, I think the challenge for November is really going to be that work-life balance. And I think that was also a challenge even for this month and a little bit of September when I was doing some work. So it's still been difficult, but at the same time, I am trying to set those boundaries with only working certain days in the week and really not going past like that 6-7 p.m. time frame either. Like, I have a child now. I have to make sure that I am present there for her and helping Dan out too. So I really feel that at this point, I just want to stick to that routine and see how we go with that. Well, that is my monthly reset video for November. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do, because I'll be posting a lot more videos like this in future. Let me know down in the comments section how your October has been and what some of your goals are for November, because I'd really love to hear. And also make sure to let me know in the comments section what you'd like to see on my channel upcoming. And if you are interested in any of the CoPlenty templates that I've spoken about today, reminder that there is a link in the description box below and a discount code that you can take advantage of. But in the meantime, make sure to hit the notification bell to see all the updates from my channel in future. And thank you so much as always for watching. I'll see you in the next video.